Welcome back to this tutorial for part 2, day 1, and today we'll be talking about entities. So let's go ahead and open Source SDK. Go ahead and click Hammer. Make sure the current game is Team Fortress 2. Now, when it says the current game, it's basically the files it will load. For instance, props, which we'll be talking about, the props would be completely different, and the textures would be different. So, depending on what you choose. But for now, I'll just choose Team Fortress 2. Now, go ahead and hit New. And now what I want to do is just create a simple, just box room. So, let's go to Browse. Now, what we want to do is just go ahead and scroll down here. Let's find the developer textures. The developer textures are for figuring out units and stuff, because when you apply them to your scene, then you can say, oh hey, that's 25 units, that's the max height he can go in your 3D view. So here we go, we got our developer textures. Now an easier way is just to type DEV and you'll get all of these. Now there's quite a few here. There's crate 32 by 32, another 48 by 48, 64, and so on. But what we want to just do is let's select the crate 64 by 64. Let's go to the block tool and let's just create a wall here, 64 by 1024. Let's make sure it's a little bit high. That. Now click Z in your camera viewport with your mouse over it. Let's try to locate that. Okay, there we go. And let's go on the top viewport again, shift drag, bring it over, and then we want to do it one more time. But this time, let's make it the other side of the wall. Make that a little bigger. Okay, and drag it over. One more for the middle. We want to move it down one. And then we'll do the top. Alright, so here we've got a simple room in here. And I'm just going to put a developer flooring on real fast, because the flooring will drive you absolutely nuts and you'll be like, wait, is that the floor? No, this is the floor. No. Maybe that? No. Anyway, so what you want to do is click your entity tool, and entities are basically written files for actions or different items. Like if I do item ammo pack full, and this is special for Team Fortress 2. And you'll click this, and you'll get a ammo pack, a big ammo pack. So they've got quite a few. We're gonna go over quite a few today. So let's start by info player team spawn. Now just select one of these, pop it in here. Now, like I said earlier, yours won't look like mine. It'll look like a green guy with a mustache. Okay, and what we want to do is just hold space, use the left mouse to move our viewport around, scroll to zoom in. Alright, and what we want to do is zoom in here and make sure he's not touching the ground, which he isn't, which is perfect. Now, if he touches the ground and you play the map and you spawn, you will be stuck into the ground and you can't go anywhere. So that's why you always check if you're stuck in the ground. Okay, so that's the basic entity that you will for sure need in every level you create. So, and then we've got quite a few others. We've got let's see here. We've got the health kit, which we can put over here. And then we've got keyframe rope and keyframe track. These are for making ropes and different cool little things across the side. And I'll show you real fast. So let's go ahead and choose a keyframe rope. Select it right there. And then you just want to type rope. And you want to do move rope. Put it right there. And what we're going to have to do is give these both a name. So hit Alt Enter. Name, we'll call this MR1. Apply. And we'll select, oops. Then we'll take the selection tool, select this other one here. Let's call this KF1. In fact, let's do a one of these and then 01. That way they'll number them as we go. Okay, so let's just select this move rope, next keyframe, and tag the keyframe 1. Now hit apply, and you'll see this little string that goes across, and that's going to look like a rope when you're done. So, and to make these go longer and stuff, you can actually shift click and it'll automatically tie it to the next one. So you can make all sorts of things with that. It's definitely a fun tool. Let's go back to entities and let's go down here. Now for Team Fortress 2, they've got quite a few special ones for, well, Team Fortress 2. One's a dispenser, sentry gun, and teleporter. You can select dispenser, put it down, and it will create a dispenser that you can heal just like a normal dispenser. It's just not made by anyone. And that's some of the few special ones for Team Fortress 2. They've also got a let's see here. They've got props, which we'll talk about in just a second. We've got some other ones here. Let's go ahead and go down. Alright, let's talk about lights. Now, the best way to make your scene jump out or really exciting is to add some lights. So, what you want to do is, lights are entities, so you're going to have to go in here and find a light. So just type in light. Now we've got a few different types of light. Light dynamic, light environment, light spot, light glow, particle light, info lighting, point spotlight. Now all of these are very useful in different ways. But to make a normal light, you just click light and you're going to be using this most of the time. So let's just make this go to the top here. Almost to the top, and hit Alt Enter. You can change the name, the brightness, which would be an actual color. Okay, brightness scale HDR, brightness HDR, of course. Appearance normal. Now you can change it to flickering, gentle pulse, candle, fast strobe, slow strobe. Those are all very cool if you're creating like a horror game or something. Now you can have constant, linear, quadratic, and all of these are great, but quadratic is basically like it fades off in quads. Constant means it just goes on forever, and linear means it's gonna go on, but then it's gonna slightly fade out. And then you've got 50% off fall off distance, and you can set all of this. You can have it point at an entity, which you would want for if you had a point spotlight, and you might be creating like a flashlight for a character or something, then you'd want to do that. But for now, we'll just leave it how it is. Okay? And let's go ahead and get into props. Go to Entities, start typing prop. There, prop. Now, we've got quite a few different props. Prop dynamic is a animated prop. Prop physics mean it can move around and jump around with the world. Prop ragdoll is like a dead person or a dead model, and then prop static is just like a sitting, non-moving prop. Now, what is a prop, you say? Well, a prop is basically like a model, and what I can't explain it much more, but we'll just have to jump in. Hit Alt Enter. Now, the most important out of all these properties is World Model. And go ahead and click this, backspace out of here, and you've got all these props, hundreds, I mean even thousands of props, just, you know, the Alex gun and Alex herself and all these different ambulance, you know, and antilion. So one thing that you want to do is click one of the Team Fortress ones and click mod. That way it'll separate mods, so you won't get a whole bunch of Half-Life 2 stuff. Now, I've made a couple custom myself, which all failed, but still working on that. And they've got plenty of different models to look at. Now, what you want to be doing, let's look up gate. And use Team Fortress 2. And they've got metal and signs and security fences. I'll just choose a big slab of metal, hit apply, come over here, use my selection tool, bring it up, and we've got this basically model into our scene. Now this is a way to make your maps completely different, just from plain boxes and different textures to extreme cool awesomeness. Anyway, they've got train gates, which are really awesome. So, what you want to do, let's try different kinds of gates, okay? So, let's go ahead and X out of this. We'll actually delete this, go to props, we'll do another prop, but this time, prop, then we'll look at their different kinds here. We'll just type prop. Okay? Now let's try a prop dynamic. And what we're going to do for one of our goals is we're going to create a regenerating locker. Now, just go ahead and set it in there. Hit Alt Enter. Hit Browse and look for locker. And you'll see this resupply locker. And it's got 2 animations. Hit OK. Hit apply, and what you can do here in this little round thing is actually rotate it any way you want. So let's just move it down. Now the way you figure out which way to rotate it is you find where the little yellow stick is pointing at. Now right now it's pointing this way, so what we do is pretend like this is the yellow stick and just bring it down and hit apply. Now, we've got our resupply locker looking that way. Okay, and we'll keep all these the same. Hit apply. And now, here comes the fun part. Grab a brush, the brush tool, hit browse, type tools. And these are plenty of tools that we're going to be going over later. But for now, we'll be using the trigger. What we want to do is create a trigger for this. So when you go near it, it will give you some ammo and set off one of those animations. So we'll just make it around. We'll make it 1 extra long. What we'll do is we'll actually take our little spawn point here and move it over. Let's rotate him, so hit Alt Enter, see where his yellow thing is pointing at, bring it up, Let's make it 90 so it's exact. Alright, now he's facing towards the resupply locker. Alright, so what we want to do is tie this to an entity. So let's go over here, move selected to entity, or hit Control T, and we'll find the func regenerate. Okay, hit apply, click associated model, and select this. Now, what we need to do actually first is name both of these. So I'll name this trigger 1, and this one is already named to RL1, which I named it. Okay, and start disabled no, team. Right now we'll put it for any since we only have one spawn point. Now, that's an easy way of making him be able to walk into this little thing, and that will open, and he'll get more ammo. Okay, so let's go up here, file, save. Now this is a very, very important part of map making, is always keep saving it. Trust me, I've had to learn that the hard way. Lost a humongous map that I had spent weeks on, and you definitely do not want to lose a map. So let's just call this CG Tuts Entities. Okay, hit save. Alright, now we've got this cool room, this thing that'll, a regenerating locker, a dispenser just for fun, 2 little entities that we will mess around with, a big plane, a prop entity, some rope hanging across the ceiling, a light right there. Now, we've got a few more to go over, so let's X out of this, and let's make a, all we have to do is run this map and check it out. But we've got but we want to try a ragdoll. So let's go ahead and add a ragdoll physics. Hit Alt Enter, world model, hit browse, and let's find a person. So let's go mattress. Alright, so let's find, let's see here, zombie. Ooh, okay, here's a ragdoll zombie gib. Let's see here, are there any cool, oh, we'll just go with the zombie ragdoll. Hit apply. Now when we start the map, this should probably fall down and you can kick it around and shoot it and whatnot. Okay, and alright, so let's go ahead and run this map. Now to run the map, you want to go up here, hit run map or F9, and it'll say run BSP, run viz, run rad, and normally you would put them all onto normal, but if you've got a ginormous map and you need it to go really fast so you can test it for something like if the control point works or if this train works, then that's when you'd want to do fast. But for now, since we've just got this simple map, we'll do normal run, and I will go ahead and hit OK. Alright, so we can check out where they put the final map, which is the BSP. So it's in Team Fortress TF maps CG Tuts entities.bsp. Okay, file save just to make sure. Well, I hope you've liked this tutorial, and look out for the rest of our tutorials on cgtuts.com.